What's the best way for me to end things with my boyfriend? I've been dating this guy, let's call him Jake, for about 6 months now, and I've realized I need to break up with him, but I'm honestly a little scared. For context, we are in a long-distance relationship. It's about a 3.5 hour train journey for me, and for Jake, it's about an 1.5 hour drive, but he has never come to see me, not even once. Here are some of the things that have made me want to end things with him, listed in order from 4 months ago until yesterday. We had an argument that got pretty heated. I never swore at him, but he sent me a long message calling me every swear word he could think of. When we talked it out afterward, he didn't apologize and just said, "I wouldn't have said any of that if you weren't such a dick to me." He got me a few expensive things, and then throws them in my face in arguments as a way of saying, if I was actually X, then why did I buy you all that? I tried to give them back, and he wouldn't take them. 4 months into the relationship, I was staying at his place, and I declined sex, which made him a bit grumpy. However, he had always been respectful of my no. Then he made a joke that I should sleep on the floor. Thinking he was joking, I laughed it off. But he continued to insist, saying it was his house and that as a guest, I should sleep on the floor. I didn't sleep on the floor. I got into bed and we went to sleep, but he kept bringing it up the next morning and kept going back and forth between it was just a joke to he wasn't joking. If I asked to explain what was so funny about that joke, he would say it wasn't a joke, and then when I would say, okay, why did he think it was okay to treat me like that, he would go back to saying I'm sensitive and it was just a joke. He once told me that I'm too naive because of my age and I'm not street smart. About a month ago, we were on a video call. It had been a month since we had last seen each other in person. During the call, he asked me to send him some nudes. I've never sent nudes in any of my past relationships, and he was aware of this, so I told him no. He then asked if I could show him my naked body on the video call instead. Again, I said no. He expressed his frustration, and I responded by saying that I understood how he felt, but I'm uncomfortable with those things, and he knows that. Despite my explanation, he got quite angry and said that if I was just going to waste his time and not show him anything, we might as well hang up and go to bed. He then abruptly hung up the call. Outside of those instances, he's generally a sweet guy who treats me well and is respectful. Sometimes his anger gets the best of him, but he has never abused me in any way. The worst he has done is cuss me out and say a few hurtful things, but he almost always apologizes later. One other thing why I'm asking how to break up with him is that he suffers with depression. I do too, but I'm on medication. He doesn't believe in medication, counseling, or therapy, and since I've known him, he has said that I am the only thing that brings him happiness and keeps him going. When I bring up him getting help, he says he doesn't want it because he has me. I was thinking of breaking up with him in the middle of the night, when I know he's asleep, and then blocking him everywhere because I don't want him to call me or to pick apart my message and convince me to stay. I don't want him to get mad and call me every name under the sun and just be horrible. I also don't want him to spiral out and tell me he will kill himself if I leave, so I think the safest option is to do it when he's not awake. How should I break up with him? By doing it my way, I'm taking away his chance at closure, and I feel bad because just the other day he ordered a nice care package to my house, and I feel guilty that he's giving me all this stuff, and I'm going to break up with him. Update. I didn't get many comments, but the ones I did get were really helpful. I read the book, Why Does He Do That? By Lundy Bancroft, and it was honestly shocking to think I'm in an abusive relationship. Once I read more, I kept finding more and more things I could relate to, and I could not see past it. However, I'm sad to say that even after reading that book, I still didn't leave Jake right away. I stayed up until last week. I stopped allowing Jake to monopolize on all of my time and started hanging out more with my friends, which caused a lot of arguments with Jake as the time together decreased to what I would think was a healthy amount. I remember in one argument he said to me, "I let you see your friends more than enough times, and you haven't seen me in over a week." Which he emphasized the let part multiple times. The real turning point was last week. I didn't want to throw our relationship away over just that, and Jake said he could feel we were distancing, so he said, "Let's have a weekend away together." I agreed, and in the back of my head I was like, if he does anything or shows any signs, I'm out. The weekend was hell. Jake would spend the morning until about 5 p.m. belittling me, critiquing me, and getting aggressive and in my face about small things. He would fly off the handle, and I was basically walking on eggshells to try and keep him happy. Then, after 5 p.m., it was like a switch would flip. Suddenly, I was his baby and his darling. He would tell me he loved me so much and talk about the house we would live in together. He never brought up his earlier mood or how he treated me, and he never apologized. When he would say all these sweet things after breaking me down, it made me want to vomit because it felt so fake. He could tell his sweet talk wasn't working on me, so he started playing the victim. He would say he wanted to disappear and accuse me of being mean for ignoring him earlier when he was belittling me. He would claim that he was so nice to me and that I treated him like shit. This went on for 3 days. On the second day, I had an anxiety attack. It was too much. I couldn't walk on eggshells around him anymore, and I felt so unsafe with him. I ended up breaking down in front of him, and instead of comforting me, he got pissed off and rolled his eyes and said, "I'm not sure why you're crying, just stop already," and then stormed off. When the 5 p.m. switch flip happened and I tried to bring up how I was feeling to him, he would tell me to shut up and stop talking about that, and then in the same breath start saying how much he loves me, and that he's always here for me, and I'm his forever. Anything I said to contradict what he was saying was met with a glare, and him calling me mean. However, on the third day, in one of Jake's flying off the handle moments, I casually mentioned that my friends knew where I was and have my location. He looked surprised and asked me why, and I gave a very vague answer, but he mellowed out after that. After the trip, I broke up with him and blocked him. He did reach out as I was blocking him everywhere to basically tell me how I distanced myself on the trip when he was trying to reconnect us, and that it's my fault that I'm breaking up with him, which made no sense, but I blocked and never responded. TLDR, he got worse, we broke up.